Hannah here, just popping on to share a few highlights from our July office hours virtual meeting. Everything that's coming at us right now is so wildly overwhelming and heartbreaking, and it can be really grounding to just touch base with other organizers. And ROP Office Hours is one way to do that. So I just wanted to share a little update about what happened in the last one and give you some details about the next one. In case you're like, what the F is office hours? We've been offering office hours monthly since the election as a space to drop in, chat with ROP staff and other local leaders from around the state. If you're feeling overwhelmed, or are you stuck on something and you're organizing and need help problem solving, if you're working on an idea for a new event or campaign in your community and want to run it by others, if you're looking for a specific tool or resource, these are all great reasons to drop into office hours. The next one is on Monday, August 11th, coming up here soon, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. In particular, on this next office hours, we'll be making sure to take some space to talk about building our strategies and skills around mass non-compliance and non-cooperation. You can register at rop.org/virtual-gatherings, but it's kind of long. I'll put the link in the bio. Anyways, okay, now a quick recap. Let me tell you about a few of the really juicy things that came up in the July office hours. We talked a lot about building rapid response networks for community safety, both in terms of ICE stealing our neighbors and ensuring that the folks around us could evacuate in case of a fire or other natural disaster. One person shared that they're working on building solidarity pods, so like a small database of how people can be engaged and what resources they have to offer others locally, whether that's giving rides, sharing money, food from the garden. So there's a lot of really great ideas starting to think about what different scales and forms of rapid response look like that can be applied to different kinds of scenarios that might come up when we might need to protect people in our community. This also surfaced conversations about the very tricky balance of using digital security tools to help keep our information out of the wrong hands, but also not letting the focus on finding like the perfect digital security tools keep us from being able to organize effectively. Researchers who study authoritarianism movements across the U.S. share that what is necessary to stop authoritarians is a broad movement of many diverse people across sectors in the society, resisting in all kinds of different ways. So we know that safety comes from community, not from perfect encryption platforms. Most of what we're currently doing in our organizing on the day-to-day isn't civil disobedience, and we don't need the details of like our potluck to be worked out on a secure platform that nobody can access and nobody actually comes to our potluck. Now, if you were planning to change yourself to an ICE office, that's a different story, and you wouldn't like want that being recorded online somewhere. Regardless of how good your digital security practices are, you would probably just want to take that offline. So a lot of it is thinking about the common sense too of like, what are different things that we're concerned about, and then what are we actually doing, and what level of security is actually needed in that moment, and what's going to bring people in, not keep people out. It seems like all of this is bringing up a lot of conflict, or at least like a lot of challenges for so many of us right now, as we like have differing perspectives on what's going to keep us safe and how to do the work together. So that definitely came up. I'm curious if you all are finding some of those challenges in your communities that you're organizing with as well. Other folks are working on engaging around infrastructure that already exists locally to prepare to support and uphold free and fair elections. Do you know your county clerk and like where they stand? Now is a great time to build relationships with your county clerk if you don't already have it. County clerks historically receive a lot of pressure around election time, and we can only imagine what the next election will be like. There's an organizer out in Jackson County working on a project to assess where we hold relationships with county clerks across the state, where they need some work so that we're prepared to offer support or accountability to uphold what remains of democracy. So follow up with us if you want in on this project. Maybe you already know your county clerk or know about your county clerk, and maybe you would like to do it, and we'll get you connected up. We were also really pleasantly surprised to be joined by a staffer of Representative Bynum of U.S. Congressional District 5, who is really eager to hear about our priorities and start a conversation about how we can work more closely together to ensure those priorities are at the forefront. So you never know who's going to drop into office hours and what conversations will come out of it. So just a reminder, you can register for the next office hours on our website at the link in our bio. The next one's coming up on August 11 from 6 to 7:30 p.m. We would love to see you there. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.